Primetime, that's the name.
Primetime.
Primetime.
What time is it? Showtime, primetime.
It's XL Primetime, featuring Joe C.
I reduced my toilet paper down to 3 squares.
Matt Hayes.
Big asses and big thighs, yeah.
And Leon Searcy.
Bringing you love, peace, and soul.
How you like me now? How you like me now?
Yeah, it's a new week. It's a new week here on XLP. We are live from Amelia Island. The Ritz-Carlton here, the ACC Spring Meetings, the annual Spring Meetings. We got coaches filing in, athletic directors filing in. They're going to talk about year 2 in this expanded conference and how things can get very serious very quickly in the ever-changing world of college football. We got a lot of guests set up for today's coaches, athletic directors. We have Andy Staples from On3 Sports coming on at 2:20 to talk the changing world of college football. We've got Mario Cristobal coming up. We're going to efforting Bill O'Brien, ACC Commissioner Jim Phillips. We're going to get through a bunch of guys here and a bunch of people that can give us an idea of where this conference is headed. Matt Hayes, he's Leon Searcy. Joe Cowart is running around the hotel, should be here shortly. Leon, a big year for the ACC. A big opportunity for this conference to make a little move in college football, make a little noise.
Yeah. Well, what's new from what they did different from last year?
Well, you got a new quarterback at Miami.
Oh, okay.
Right? You got a new quarterback at Florida State.
Okay, you're talking about.
It's your school. I mean, if you look at this conference, clearly what SMU did last year was impressive. Kay Klubnik comes back at Clemson, and Clemson is a deep team right now, and a lot of people think a dangerous team with a game to begin the season against LSU, which could be just intriguing on so many different fronts because, first and foremost, Brian Kelly has yet to win a season opener at LSU. He's 0-3. If he goes 0-4, that's going to be very interesting. And then if they beat Clemson in that game, then what does that say about Clemson and the rest of the league? So there's a lot going on right now.
Yeah,
early on, we're 4 months away, but there's some intrigue.
Well, it's good for the conference when you got that you got steep competition. You know, over the last couple of years, I've called the ACC the Clemson Invitational because every year, you know, Clemson is winning the division or playing for something to solidify its grip. SMUs, you got the Clemsons, you got the Miami trying to rebound. Hopefully you got the Duke, you know, a little noise in the conference.
Yeah, man, he did a good job.
And then SMU, you know, SMU comes into the conference, and then in 1 year, I mean, they're playing in the ACC championship game.
Yeah.
I mean, so there's a lot of parity in the ACC, which is good.
And less parody, P-A-R-O-D-Y.
Exactly.
Which is big for this league.
Yes, absolutely. You know, so I'm excited. I'm excited for the conference and what's it's capable of doing because, you know, now that we've got the tournament bracket and we've got the 12 teams.
It'll be 12. We'll be 14 or 16 in a year. Yeah.
So I mean, you know, you like to see the ACC every year. You know, with teams, you know, playing well. You like to see somewhere between 2 to 3 teams in the bracket every year, you know. So, yeah, I'm excited about the opportunity, especially with my alma mater, University of Miami, you know, with Carson Beck and the whole offensive line coming back, and then some changes made on the defensive side of the ball with a new coordinator from Minnesota. So it'll be very interesting, and I'm going to ask Mario about that because, you know, Miami played well offensively for the gist of the season, but they struggled down the stretch defensively. The energy he brought to spring ball,
right?
As far as getting the defense together, because I truly believe if Miami defense was average at best last year, they probably would have been in the tournament.
They had a very Jag-esque defense at Miami last year.
They really did. They did.
They could not get stops when they needed them,
and they were unsustainable at running, at stopping the run, and you know stopping the pass. And you know Miami was never known for that, so that was concerning for me, you know, last year as well. As phenomenal a player that Cam Ward was in that offense, you know, when you're scoring 42 points, you're not supposed to be giving up 49.
Yeah, and I think, and we'll get into this with Mario as well. I also believe that you're talking about a program, and Mario talked about this last year when we talked to him, that, you know, he was trying to change the culture, and these guys were fighting now, and they wanted to practice, and they wanted to work. Now that you've hit that level of that culture change, the next step, how do you get that next step? Because honestly, Leon, Could have lost to Virginia Tech. Could have lost to Cal. You could be looking at an 8-5 team right now, and then there's all kind of questions about what's going on there. So now the question then becomes is how do you take that next step to go from being a team that lost 3 games to going to be a team that loses 1 game and gets in the playoff, or loses 2 games and gets in the playoff? Because had they beaten Syracuse, which, Joe, by the way, a great season by Syracuse and Fran Brown, 9 wins. Had they beaten Syracuse, had they not blown that early lead, they're in the playoff.
Yeah, well, I mean, they have nobody to blame but themselves. When you're up 21-0 on the road against a good Syracuse team, you got to finish the deal. I'll be very interested to ask Mario when he comes there, because Mario does just such a phenomenal job on the road recruiting, as well as in the portal. How do those two dynamics work in the locker room? Because you're essentially bringing in guys, you're recruiting guys from high schools to develop those guys, but then you've got parameters to where you're bringing guys from different schools, and then. Because the guys that you're bringing in from the portal, why they're there. They're there to get.
They're mercenaries.
They're trying to get the exposure of the brand in which is Miami to. So I'll be very interested to see how he's able to control those two dynamics from kids that are recruited to Miami because they grew up loving Miami, wanting to play for them since they were in high school, and then you got kids that are in the portal coming here to get to the exposure so they can increase their value for possibly getting drafted.
Yeah, I think that's the problem that everyone is dealing with. Everyone, not only in this league in the ACC, but in the SEC, in the Big 10, and the Big 12, and all the other conferences, it's a philosophical thing. Like, the idea to win in college football used to be you do it organically. You go through high school, you develop these kids 2, 3, and 4 years. That doesn't happen anymore. Now you're looking at teams that if you get your freshman class in, and if these guys aren't playing or don't think they're going to play or don't think there's a future for them, they're gone after a year. And you don't have that ability to ingrain them into what your belief system is and how you guys think football should be played and how you should act off the field. It's all part of each other. And you know that by playing it. And you waited your year. You figured it out. You didn't start again as a redshirt freshman, but you figured out how to get on the field and get on the field quickly. But you did it because you knew that's where you wanted to be. I think right now a lot of people are dealing with, hey, here we go. This is year 1, and if I don't get on the field or if I'm not playing, if I'm redshirt, I'm not happy. And you know what we got? Speaking of not getting on the field, we got Joe's got Dabo Swinney coming up. Brian, we're going to talk to Clemson coach Dabo Swinney, get his thoughts on the Tigers and, of course, Trevor Lawrence. All right.
What's up, Coach? How you doing, Coach? Good to see you, Coach. Appreciate it.
Clemson, good to see you, Dabo.
Over there, just so that you two can see.
All right, this is for you, Joe. Just sit right. You can sit right here, Dabo. All right, we got Dabo Swinney live on the air right now. Clemson head coach. Dabo's figuring out that. You got it?
Yep, got it.
All right,
good to
got
go.
it. Nice. Good to see you, man.
You too.
How are things?
Great. Just rolling, coming in hot.
Hang on. That's the way we do it here, baby. That's the way we do it. Yeah. Hey, before we get into Clemson, we definitely want to talk to you about Clemson. Trev and the Jags, the moves they've made, the new head coach, the new general manager, the pieces they've put around him, the guard, drafting a guard, obviously Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
Are you fired up about it?
Oh yeah, I'm excited for him. It's been obviously he's had some great moments, some exciting moments, but he's on his 3rd coach, and I don't know how many, 3rd coordinator, I assume. So he's. I think there's been times where everybody can go, ooh boy, okay, and then there's been other times where, he's had to battle through some injuries or just they hadn't been quite what they hoped to be, but it appears that they've got all the pieces in place, and you ain't got to worry about it. He's one of the most people you'll ever meet. I mean, he's got an unbelievable foundation to life, not just a foundation to football. He's got a great foundation to life. He is he's passionate about doing the work, which is really what it takes. He's just an incredibly grounded guy. He's a great teammate. I always say he looks like Hollywood, but he's the most un-Hollywood guy you'll ever meet. He's just a very genuine, low-maintenance dude that just loves to do the work. And, man, is he gifted. So, but he can't do it by himself.
Right.
And, and then they got another guy that, if they'll just give Travis Etienne the ball enough, he'll make something happen. He's special. I've seen that and lived that. But, it's pretty cool. I think they've put some good pieces. Obviously, Travis Hunter, man, wow. That's going to be fun. What an amazing young talent he is coming in there. And sounds like, again, they're getting the offensive line where it needs to be. But I do not know his new head coach. But obviously Trevor's super excited, and I think they've gotten off to a great start from a relationship standpoint. And I'm sure he's probably, again, from the outside looking in, sometimes you maybe have these perceptions or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's probably going home and going like, this kid's amazing. Because he really is. He really is. And now he's a father, and I'm just praying for him, pulling for him to stay healthy. Because if he does, he'll do the rest. Because he is, again, unbelievably committed to being the best version of himself in everything he does.
Have you sensed frustration from him at all over the last 4 years?
Well, he wins. I mean, if you know anything about Trevor Lawrence, just go back and look at his career. He's always won, forever. This guy, would he lose one game in high school, maybe two, and then he comes to Clemson and wins 29 straight.
Right.
And going in back-to-back national championship games, 3 straight playoffs, 3 straight conference games. I mean, second in the Heisman. I mean, he's just always won. And so I definitely think there's been some challenges that he's had to deal with, and part of that's being in the NFL. I mean, how many undefeated teams have there been in the NFL? I mean, it's a different deal. But and then he's had some injuries. He was never a guy that really battled a lot of injuries, and he's had a couple of tough breaks. But he's as tough as they come, and again, incredibly smart, incredibly gifted, and. He's got a long future ahead of him, and I'm excited to just watch it all play out.
Now, Coach, over the last decade or so, I used to call the ACC the Clemson Invitational. Okay, all right. I used to.
Did you play at Miami?
I did play at Miami.
Right, okay.
Yes. An invitational because year in and year out, y'all just won it outright. And last year, there seemed to be a little bit of more parity. Miami, SMU, there was more attention on those teams than you, and then you come out at the end of the season and you win the ACC championship. How fulfilling was that for you as a coach?
Oh, it was amazing. I mean, we won the league 8 out of the last 10 years, but that was one of the coolest moments because, a lot had to happen. I mean, we had a rough start, and we just kind of battled. I just got a chance to see my man Fran Brown down there, and not to bring up any bad memories or anything, but they had a huge win at the end to give us the opportunity. And all we can do is play all of the games, and we were, I guess we were 7-1 or whatever in our league, and we were done with league play a few weeks before everybody else, and. So then, as it played out, all of a sudden, boom! You get a chance, and so we got a chance to go to the game and then to win it the way we did, and to finish up as ACC champions was awesome. I mean, it was just a great experience to see our freshman kicker make a huge kick, to get back to the playoff, for the 7th time in the past 10 years, but for the first time in the past, we went 3 years without getting there. But that was so most of our kids on the team had not been to the playoff yet.
Right.
I think that's really fueled those guys coming into this offseason, because everybody's won a championship. Everybody's been. We only lost 6 players, 3 on defense, 3 on offense. So all these kids have that in their mind, and I think that's been a real positive. But from a league standpoint, man, I tell you, I mean, Miami, you ain't excited to go play Miami. I think Mario's done an awesome job. They got a bunch of talent down there. Georgia Tech, Brent Key has done a great job. We got to go to Georgia Tech this year. The Noles are going to be back. They obviously didn't go the way they wanted last year, but they're going to be back. Mike's a great guy. He's a great coach. I mean, Fran, what he did at Syracuse in his first year. Now we got the New England Patriots and Coach Belichick and Bill O'Brien up in Boston College, right? So we got the whole brain trust of a lot of great moments and wins and so it's SMU, Lashley, Brent Pryde, Virginia Tech. I think Tony Elliott, my guy Tony, took the record didn't quite show it last year, but I think they took a big step forward, and we played them, so I got a chance to see it up close. I mean, Dave Dorn at NC State, always tough. So, I mean, this league from top to bottom is really, really tough. And then Frank Reich just got the job out there. Will Cox at Cal, I mean, he's done a nice job. He's been there about 8 years now. Them on some tape last year. 4 games. You know, defensively they were really good defensively. Coach Dickert is taking over at Wake Forest. I mean, the job that Clawson did, like year in and year out, you know, Wake Forest is tough. So, I mean, I think from top to bottom, the league is strong. And, you know, so I think anybody could win it. I mean, we've got a good team coming back. We'll have a chance. But I think there's a bunch of teams in our league that can compete for this league. And if you find a way to win it, it creates a lot of opportunity, you know, after that.
Couple more for Dabo Swinney. He's up here at the ACC Spring Meetings, Amelia Island. He's kind of in our neck of the woods right now.
Duval.
Exactly.
Duval.
And what you said is true, Coach. You've got Cape coming back, so Klubnik in his 3rd year as a starter. You've got a defensive front that will rival the Wilkins, the Farrell, those bunch a few years back. Anyway, how good do you think both sides of the ball?
Well, let me just lead by, because if Christian Wilkins were to hear this interview and I didn't say that's blasphemy right out of the gate, then I'm getting a text message from Christian Wilkins and Cleveland Farrell and Austin Bryant and Dexter Lawrence. You know,
those guys are pretty good.
The Power Rangers will let me know. Trust me, they take all that stuff personal. You say anything great about somebody, you better be ready to stand on business with them guys. So we got work to do, but I love our guys. We got a lot of guys back. We lost one D lineman, Peyton Page, and he went to the Jets. So they're all back, and you know, it's a good group, man. It's some serious leaders. We got good chemistry. We added a few good pieces as well to come in and help them out. But man, it's a really eager group of guys. I mean, T.J. Parker's coming off a great year. Peter Woods he's a unique football player, and they're really committed guys. They love Clemson. They love their teammates. They're easy to coach, and you know, they love to play the game. And so I think it's a good group. We're getting some guys that are healthy. That we had lost a little bit. A few guys like Cape Hart during the season last year. Steph Island Green. Those guys are all back. You know, Jaheim Lawson is a guy that we're excited about and what his development. Cade Denhoff, we thought both those guys really grew. We got Will Helt coming in, who was one of the best players in the Big Ten last year. So it's a good group. It's a good group. I think we're strong in the middle, and so that'll give us a shot.
So you added Tom Allen, who's one of the best dudes in the coaching fraternity. Just a great dude. He will fit perfectly with you guys. You added a couple of pieces from the portal. You're changing a little bit, right? You're changing the idea of what you want and where you want to go, right?
Not really. We're just still doing the same thing we've always done, and that's just following our purpose. You know, people, I mean, we've had very little turnover on our staff, and, you know, but sometimes you make tough decisions, and I felt like we needed a change with our leadership defensively, and so that's why I brought Tom in. But the rest of our guys are back, and you know, just that's been great. I mean, he's a great leader of people. Yeah, he's been awesome for the staff and awesome for our guys. So I think that was you know, one change. And then, you know, everybody talks a lot about, we've signed 5 portal guys in 5 years, and you know, we signed 3 this year. And nothing's changed. Our philosophy is exactly the same. As I've always said, we'll use it when we need it. And we had a high school kid, one of the top DNs in the country, that was committed. And he, right before signing date, he went somewhere else. And so now there's nobody to get. You don't.
So you're not even going to the portal.
You know, Will Helt's not at Clemson if this kid's there. And then we had another DN, a really good young player, who left and went to another school. So we lost 2 DNs, and there was nowhere to go. So we're like, oh, all right, well, we got to go get a guy.
You had the need, right?
So we went and got Will Helt. The process is exactly the same, no different, exactly how we'd have gone about it. And so, that's how he got here. And then we had 2 receivers. We had one kid go up to backups. One kid went to Kentucky, and one kid went to Arizona State. Wanted to play more, but all of a sudden we were down in our depth. And same thing. This is after signing day.
Right.
High school signing day is the first week in December. So we went and found a kid named Tristan Smith at Southeast Missouri, and he was exactly what we needed. And he's perfect. And he's come in. He's had a great spring, and then that was it. We were going to take a kid. We were going to try to get, because we just didn't get our top guys at linebacker. We were looking for another guy. We signed one. And so we were going to take another guy in May, and then Jeremiah Alexander popped up, who's a kid that we highly recruited out of high school. So we just knew a lot about him.
Easy, yeah.
So we got those 3 guys to go along with all of our signees. And the best thing is I think we had 16 or 17 mid-years that were all there, went through spring. Our whole team, so we got 3 high school kids coming in June. Everybody else was there from January on. So I think that's really kind of helped us to develop the chemistry and the leadership that I think is really important for any team. But as far as how we go about our business at Clemson, this is business as usual, just purpose-driven relationships, just being who we are and not apologizing for it.
Awesome.
So one more before you got to go. You mentioned Belichick. What is it going to be like? Is there such a thing, honestly, as a learning curve for the GOAT? In college football, what is it going to be like?
Wow, man, I think he'd probably be the first one to tell you and that's probably why he's, as great as he's been, is we're lifelong learners.
Right.
When if you're going to be great at it, you show me somebody great at something, I'll show you somebody who's a lifelong learner.
Right. Very true.
Good point.
Simple as that.
Yeah,
and it does. I mean, that's all of us. I mean, we're always learning. Always, especially if you have consistent success, and then you're a person that's always seeking knowledge. You're always trying to grow, and he's won more games than I'll probably ever coach in. So I look forward to, I've met him one time, but I look forward to getting to know him more as a colleague and being in meetings. But he's an amazing football coach, and you don't get lucky and do what he's done, especially at the NFL level, where the margin for error is so small. Look forward to visiting with him, and I'm sure he'd be the first one to tell you too. There's been a lot of things in college, just like if I left and went to NFL today. I mean, in fact, I spent a day with the Lions and a day with the Steelers 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
Just learning, but there's always nuances to whether it's your calendar, how you practice, or what the rules are, things like that. And I'm sure those have all been things that he's dealt with since January, but I'm sure it's really energized him. It's probably been a ton of fun. He's going to be great for our league.
Coach, we appreciate it for sure. You got to play a little golf on the island?
No, I did play Saturday and Sunday. So this is kind of when bring the sticks out from April to July.
All right, let's get you back here in the state of Florida at the end of January, okay? In that big game down in Miami.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Hey, Coach, do me a favor. Tell LaVon Kirkland his Clemson's teams would have never got us.
I love LaVon. Did you play with LaVon?
I played with him in Pittsburgh. Yeah.
Oh, so where else did you play?
I played at the University of Miami from '87 to '92, and me and LaVon were drafted.
Whoa!
Yeah, I played. Yeah.
Your last year was '92.
So this is.
So you were a senior in '92 like me.
Well, no.
You opened the store right now, right?
No.
So you were in that national championship game in Miami.
No.
Alabama.
I was gone then, Coach.
Oh, you were gone.
I was gone
when
then.
George Teague ran Lamar down and took the ball.
I was in the league, Coach.
Oh, you were gone. You missed that.
I missed that one.
So you got me at '89 though. So
I did. We got you in '89.
I was a freshman in '89, but I was there.
Yeah. Thought he had me.
Dang it. So then where'd you go?
Me and LaVon were drafted in '92 by the Pittsburgh Steelers. I was the first round pick. LaVon was the second.
So I coached Shea Townsend.
Oh, you did?
So he was with me at Alabama. So I went right into coaching in '93 when I finished.
Okay.
And then we recruited Shea and Rudd out of Mississippi. And so, in fact, I just saw Shea last week. He's at the Lions now.
Yeah, and he coached in Jacksonville.
He was coaching in Jacksonville. So he's in the Lions now. But so I'm trying to think who else. Did you play with the Alabama or guys or Clemson?
I played it.
I know LaVon.
I played with LeVon.
And Eric Curry. Just
Eric
for a
Curry
hot
was
minute.
on. Yeah,
So
Eric Curry.
EC and I, and he's in Duval. EC and I were freshmen together.
Okay.
So we were together for 5 years.
Okay.
And he's one of my good friends, man.
Now, I'll tell you who I played against in the NFL. I played against John Copeland. We was at Cincinnati.
So EC and John were our bookends, and Cope's in Tuscaloosa. He's doing great.
Nice.
So you played in Cincinnati too?
No,
Or
I
just
played with the
against
Steelers.
them?
I played
Were you
against
the Steelers
them.
the whole time?
Yeah, no, I was with the Steelers 4 years and the
Jaguar.
Jaguars 5.
Okay, you finished with Jaguars. So yeah, you played EC there.
Yep.
Trying to think if there was anybody else. When were you the Jaguars? What years?
96.
To 01.
96 to 01.
02.
Yeah.
I was in the Jaguars from 96.
Because he had Big
so-
John Henderson come in, Marcus Stroud come in. Those were a couple of
yeah.
I
killer draft
recruited
picks.
Yeah, you would have missed Victor Ellis. He was a linebacker down here like a year. Okay, yeah. Well, any of the Alabama guys, I would know.
Yeah, we got you on the Sugar Bowl, Coach.
Yeah.
You got us back. You got us back, though.
89.
You got us back. You got us back.
I love it. Well, it's good to see you guys.
Thank you
Coach.
very much, Coach. As always, we
Thanks,
appreciate
Dabo.
it. That's for sure.
Good to see you,
doubt.
man.
Yeah, good to meet you, man.
All right, we'll keep it rolling on XL Primetime. Dabo Swinney up here at the Amelia Island ACC Spring Meetings.
The past comes to life in the present.
And the Jaguars are going to the playoffs.
The memories bridge the gap to the future.
From 27-0 to win the game.
Experience the most play-by-play sports on 1010XL.
Neck pain, back pain, or headache, Shinatri Chiropractic has 4 locations: Westside, 103rd, Riverside, Arlington, and the Beaches. Acupuncture, dry needling, physical therapy. Relief starts today. Shinatri Chiropractic, 743-6700.
David Lane here, and once again, I'm happy to share news of my success with back and knee surgeries at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. Whatever it is that's bothering you, take it from me. Simply set an appointment today at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist and let them help you get back to normal life. I'm certainly glad I did.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Life is about choices and the decisions you make. I'm David Robbins with Epstein & Robbins. If you're convicted of a DUI, you'll have to face severe consequences. Walking through the doors of the courthouse or appearing at a bond hearing can be extremely intimidating. Without the right lawyer, you're likely to make the wrong decision. Let our team help you make the right decisions in court. Epstein & Robbins, the right choice.
Epstein and Robbins, fighting for your rights since 1975.
Duck Rooter is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When you need help with any plumbing, septic, or AC issue, just give us a call and relax. We'll send one of our first-round draft picks to tackle your problems today. DuckDuckRooter.com. That's DuckDuckRooter.com.
Hey Jacksonville, Lauren Brooks here for Big Chief Tire. If you need new tires, Big Chief has affordable options to fit every budget and every vehicle. Their team of experts will help you find the right tires and make sure they're installed quickly so you can get back on the road. Don't wait. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule your appointment and explore their great tire deals. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling.
How much do the performers for Super Bowl halftime shows get paid?
Filing an insurance claim following a storm shouldn't be an ordeal. Southern Oak Insurance's claim team prepares for catastrophic situations well in advance. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Super Bowl performers are not paid for their shows, but production costs are covered by the NFL, which could go as high as $15 million.
Southern Oak Insurance, our family protecting yours.
We know who they play, and now we'll finally find out when. Join 1010XL all day Thursday for the big reveal. Open by Renewal by Anderson, Custom Windows and Doors, and Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey, and I only like to recommend the best, which is why I'm proud to say that I chose Pella Windows and Doors for my own home. And now's a great time to upgrade your home with 0% financing for 60 months. That's 5 years of interest-free payments on the best windows and doors in the business. Don't wait. Schedule a free consultation at PellaJacks.com or visit their showroom on Phillips Highway just north of Bay Meadows. For quality you can trust and savings you can't miss, that's Pella Windows and Doors. Keep
keeping kids active is a full-time job for parents. Look no further, though, than I-9 Sports, covering Duval, St. John's, and Clay to get your youngster in the game. Spring and summer registration open right now for flag football, soccer, t-ball, and basketball. Plus, all new girls volleyball at Duval Charter Bay Meadows. I-9 Sports with fields and gyms all over 3 counties. And the best thing is I-9 Sports offers sports year-round so kids can always find a sport to play. i9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Join us at Miller Electric May 29th from 4 to 7 p.m. We're on the lookout for talented people, from entry-level to experienced electricians and foremen, security system installation and service technicians, fire alarm system service technicians, and both senior and junior VDV technicians. This is your chance to get hired on the spot. Meet the managers, indulge in delicious food, and snag some awesome giveaways. Don't miss out on this electrifying chance to power up your career. Miller Electric, May 29th, 4 to 7 p.m., 6805 South Point Parkway.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Mondays on XL Primetime, brought to you by Mokama. Check out their great craft in the tap room in Fernandina Beach.
All right, we're back on XLP. We are live at the ACC Spring Meetings here in lovely Amelia Island at the Ritz-Carlton Plantation. Just had a fantastic interview with Dabo Swinney. Good little 15-minute interview. If you missed it, go online, 1010xl.com. On demand, you can listen to it. Or on the app, you can listen to it as well. Just he broke down everything Clemson and everything Trevor. Everything Trevor and his adjustment, his transition to Duval. Even throughout a little Duval, too. Right now, we got a special guest coming up as Joe is out working. We're going to try and get Fran Brown on the Syracuse coast on the show. We'll get him shortly. Right now, we got a special guest, Andy Staples from On3 Sports. Andy, good afternoon,
if
my
you
friend.
need to bump me for Fran Brown, that's
we
fine.
Might.
He's
we
way
might.
more
if he's
important
coming
than
over.
me.
We might.
So, hey, listen.
So this craziness, this crazy off season, it just seems like, and we were talking about this, Joe and I, it just seems like every month it's just something different that changes the dynamic of the sport.
Well, I mean, I was just watching the Miss Maine pageant yesterday, so that's not something I had on my bingo card 3 months ago about covering college football, is figuring out who was going to win Miss Maine. So, yeah, I don't know, everything's sort of in flux still, and I just want to get to the games. I want to see what these teams look like. Like, that's the most exciting thing for me is you got Pat Narduzzi over here, like,
He's pretty fun on game day.
There's a kid who went to my kid's high school who just transferred in. It's going to be their backup quarterback. So if something happens to the starter, he's going to be playing. Like, it's crazy.
Right.
And so I just think it's fine to talk about this stuff and the big picture stuff. I don't think most fans care about all of it. They're like, just get us to the games.
Right.
Tell it. When something like Nico Iamaleava happens when he leaves Tennessee, that's when everybody's like, ooh, this is really interesting. But for the most part, they don't care what they're getting paid. They don't care what conferences. Well, they want to know what conference their team's going to be in, but all of this other stuff, like, just get to the games.
Right. So you don't think there's any danger, and see, I wrote this a couple weeks ago at USA Today. You don't think there's any danger in pushing fans away if this continues over and over and over, where it looks like it's more just about, and we can talk about money and everything.
Talking about Nico stuff?
No, just stuff like that and the free player movement, which I think is really annoying the hell out of fans.
I don't know. They keep showing up and they keep
right?
watching. So when they stop showing up and watching lower numbers, then that would be a concern. But the fact of the matter is the sport's as popular as it's ever been. So I'm a watch what people do, not watch what people say kind of person.
Right.
And I always laugh because people always say, well, this is the kind of show I want. And I do a show every day. And I look at the numbers on the show. When I do the show that says the people say is what they want,
right,
then we get certain numbers.
Right.
When we talk about Deion Sanders and Bill Belichick's girlfriend, we do a lot better numbers. You say all you want. It's what you watch and
Right.
what you show up for that matters. And like, I'll give you an example. Our alma mater, like if DJ Lagway's slinging it, the Swamp's going to be packed.
Yeah.
Every Florida fan's going to be engaged.
Yeah.
They're going to be pumped.
Yeah.
Like, it's get me to the games. These games are still awesome. The rest of it, you got to look at it as off-season entertainment more than anything else. But yeah, the guys who transferred somewhere between December and January and then transferred somewhere else between March and April, that's annoying. It is annoying. And there's a way to do something about that. They just keep choosing not to do it. They can solve the problem anytime they want to, but they choose not to.
Yeah, but the question is, why do they choose not to?
Because this is not bothering them. They're still making money. They don't care.
So it's only when it affects the bottom line.
Yeah, exactly.
That they will make changes.
Yeah. Because, I mean, look, if you want to not violate the law and you want to hold people to non-compete clauses, you have to make them employees. You can't hold non-employees to non-competes.
Right. That's what I've been saying all along.
Like,
right.
it's not
It's the only
complicated.
way it ends. Right.
So you decide how you want to do that. Maybe you try to get a congressional law passed, but I don't think it's going to be that easy to do that. But you could tomorrow say, we're going to make them employees, and we're going to sign them to contracts. And if you want to leave, well, you have a contract.
And then it all goes away.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it all goes away.
Yeah.
All right.
I have a contract. I can't leave. I'm
All
not
right.
going anywhere.
All right, one more last question for you. Dabo's here talking about the ACC and how the ACC is a much deeper conference, a much better conference. You buying it?
I do think they're good at the top. I love Clemson this year. I think him hiring Tom Allen to be the defensive coordinator, like, puts Clemson into that next group.
Right.
Because you saw them last year against Texas. Like, the offense was playing fine against Texas. The defense was just getting shredded.
Right.
And it's not because they had bad players. They're just they were not put in the proper position. Tom Allen will put them in the proper position. You've got NFL caliber players. You got Peter Woods. You got Sammy Brown, who's going to be a really good linebacker for them. And then on the other side of the ball, I think Cade Klubnik took a huge step forward last year. So love them. I think Louisville is going to be good this year. I think SMU is going to be really good again. I think Miami's going to be really good again. I like what Miami's done roster-wise because they needed to fix their defense. So they go out and they get Corey Heatherman, the DC from Minnesota, who like Mario, kind of came up through Greg Schiano. So they speak a little bit of the same language.
Right.
And then they went out and revamped that defensive group because they had some good defensive linemen, but they really needed to revamp that secondary. It wasn't very good last year. I think they went out and got good players. So I think like those four teams I mentioned, Clemson, Louisville, SMU, Miami, are going to be really good this year, and potentially all of them could be playoff contender caliber.
Yeah,
and
I agree with that.
That makes the whole season fun because you're seeing that race go. And like you got guys like we have Fran Brown back here behind us. Like Syracuse was awesome last year. Yeah. He did a great job,
Fun as hell to watch,
and I bet he will continue to do a great job because he's a great eye for talent. He's a great recruiter. Now, I will have to ask. I'll have to find his AD, John Wildhack, and find out what they did to piss off the conference office because they got to play the best four teams in the conference on the road. I don't know how that happened, but they're going to be fun to watch. This is it's. I think it's a little bit deeper than it was last year. And look, Florida State's kind of the great mystery. Like, they can't possibly be as bad as they were last year. They have to be better.
Right.
But the question is how much better? Because if they get back to being competitive, they're going to be. Georgia Tech, we're hardly talking about Georgia Tech at all. I'm telling you right now, Georgia Tech's going to be good. Like, you saw them beat Miami last year. You saw them really throw a wrench in the conference race last year. They could themselves be in the conference race this year.
All right, come back next time when Dabo doesn't take all your oxygen, right?
Oh, listen, I can't compete with that.
All right, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. All right, we need to go to break here. We're going to come back and get with Syracuse coach Fran Brown. It's XL Primetime.
1010XL.
All right, I want a 32 belly option on 2-on-2. Ready?
Where every day is game day.
It's Work Zone Awareness Week, Florida. Every year, lives are lost in work zones because of speeding and distractions. When you see orange cones, remember, slow down, follow the signs, and stay focused. Workers are counting on you to get home safely, and so are their families. Let's work together to prevent crashes and save lives. A safety reminder from the Florida Department of Transportation. Slow your roll. Safety's the goal.
Are you ready to reclaim your backyard? Serving Northeast Florida since 1977, Surfside Pools is the trusted name for expert pool design. Family owned and operated, they offer pool service, equipment repairs, commercial maintenance, remodels, and new pool construction. Let Surfside Pools transform your backyard into the oasis that you crave. Are you ready to float happy? Visit surfsidepools.net or call 246-2666. Surfside Pools and Spas, where luxury meets leisure.
License number CPC 044080.
Get a healthy start in 2025. The Florida Department of Health in Duval County is here to encourage you to get healthy and stay healthy this year. They have a dedicated team who are committed to providing quality care. The goal is to protect, promote, and improve the health of you and your family. Visit duval.floridahealth.gov to learn more about their health programs and services. That's duval.floridahealth.gov.
Mia here, and I'm just going to cut to the chase. What you really want to know is, why buy from Arlington Toyota? How about over 800 vehicles, one lot, 60-day exchange, and friendly credit for everyone? Plus, right now, get $0 down and just $288 per month for a pre-owned 2022 Toyota Corolla. Or how about no payments till August 2025? Shop in person on Atlantic Boulevard, just a quarter mile east of 295, or online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com.
Lucas Tree Service is a certified arborist and a local family-owned business with over 45 years of experience. They specialize in tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for both residential and commercial properties. Get prepared for storm season and receive top-notch customer service from Lucas Tree Service, 904-241-3533. Online at lucastreeservice.com.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes here with a challenge. A challenge might not be the best choice in words, so let's say an opportunity. Take the opportunity to lose 40 by the 4th with Awaken 180. It sounds a little different when you put a real goal to it, doesn't it? Maybe you looked at the scale this morning and it read 230 pounds. How about it reading 190 by the 4th? Maybe the scale says 300. Wouldn't the number 260 be a little nicer on your eyes and on your joints? It's attainable if you have the same results we all had with Awaken 180. I dropped 40 pounds in 9 weeks. Hacker dropped his first 40 in just 6 weeks. Dempsey, Blue, and everyone else I know, same results. And we've kept it off. The best thing about Awaken 180 weight loss, it will completely change the way you think, see, and feel about food. The results are real, attainable, and the process simple with Awaken 180. Take the opportunity and drop 40 by the 4th. It all starts with just one call to Awaken 180 weight loss. Call 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Spring is in the air. Time to wake up your lawn with Heroes Lawn Care. Say goodbye to pesky mosquitoes with their organic and spray treatments. Perfect for outdoor fun. Keep your lawn clean and fresh with their pet waste removal for homes and businesses. Heroes Lawn Care takes care of it all. From mowing, edging, fertilizer, to irrigation, and much more. Visit heroeslawncare.com.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On May 12, 2013, at the PGA Players Championship, legendary golfer Tiger Woods wins his second Players Championship and 78th Tour title.
Are you struggling with hair loss? At IHRS, we understand because we've been there too. We're dedicated to finding the best solution tailored just for you.
My hair looks great. It was thinning, and IHRS restored my hair.
It's now fuller, it's thicker, voluminous. It's made me feel great.
With the latest technology and FDA-approved laser therapy, PRP, and non-surgical hair addition, we offer guaranteed solutions for men and women.
With over 35 years of experience, IHRS found a hair restoration for us, and we can find one for you.
For me.
For me.
And me too.
Visit hairforme.com or call 904-777-IHRS. Get a free microscopic analysis and get to the root of your problem. This $395 analysis is yours for free. Call 904-777-4477 now.
Homeowners,
homeowners, storms don't wait, so why should you? Protect your home and your wallet with Universal Roof and Contracting. Save 15% on roof replacements and repairs now through May 31st. Financing is available with payments as low as $115. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting. Protecting your home, building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Mondays on XL Primetime, brought to you by Mocama. Check out their great craft in the tap room in Fernandina Beach.
Oh, you know you love you some Mocama. And they definitely have it going on. Mocama.com is an easy place to go to find out how great their story is as far as opening up the brewery here on the island in the beautiful South 8th Street location in Fernandina Beach, and then also their Wildlight location. So make sure you check out either one of them. You will love you some Mocama. So Cooksom, one of our diehard XL Primetimers, okay? He's one of my dudes from back in the day. And he was up on the island last week and said he got him a Cosmico IPA from Mocama in honor of XL Primetime.
All right.
Which was nice. So you can definitely drop on by there or pick up any Mocama product. Total, ABC, and Publix. Make sure you check it out. All right, so we've been talking about the ACC. We hope to be able to say hello to Fran Brown, coach of Syracuse. And the one other thing I'm going to ask him, not only about the great job that he did in his first year up there with the Orange, is LaKent Allen is a guy that came from Syracuse, drafted by the Jaguars late, but he is a guy that 1,000 yards receiving, or excuse me, 1,000 yards rushing, 500 yards receiving. Yeah. Remember that question I threw you guys? Him and Cam Scatterbo, the only two guys that did that last year. So there's no question that he is a talented dude. And Fran Brown, between him and Kyle McCord, he did some things offensively. They're pretty dang good.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it was Kyle McCord, obviously, but I think what Fran did was, I mean, the way he got those dudes to play differently, the way he got talent on that roster, the way he continued to get talent on that roster, proved it quickly too. I think it's remarkable what has happened there at Syracuse from where they were to where they are now. That's a dangerous team right now. That's a dangerous team, and frankly, a tough place to play when you go play them in the Carrier Dome.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we was talking about it earlier, man. We was talking about the parity in the ACC, where there's no clear-cut winner anymore. You know, Dabo Swinney was just here, and I jokingly talked to him about what I used to call the ACC, the Clemson Invitational, because, like he said, he
liked that too, by the way.
Oh yeah, of course he did. I fed right into his hands with that one. Yeah, absolutely. But now, I mean, now that Clemson, of course, they're one of the front runners to win it. But then you got Georgia Tech, you got Miami, you got Louisville, you got Syracuse, you got SMU. I mean, now all relatively speaking, it's not the Big Ten or the SEC,
right,
as far as talent goes or strength of schedule. But it's good to the ACC where you got at least 5 or 6 teams that are fighting it out to see who wins it.
And we didn't even talk about Pitt and the job that Pat Narduzzi's done. It's ridiculous.
And by the way, Pat Narduzzi had a team. We had so much fun last year with our XLP to the CFP when we kept doing our top 12. And Pitt snuck in towards the late stages of the year because they had an unbeaten record. And then they got mollywopped a couple of times down the stretch, and they quickly fell right back out. But at the same time, Pat Narduzzi, just like all these other guys, all you got to do is take they got guys leaving and guys coming. And it's just the same old story at a lot of collegiate Power 4 stops because guys are coming and going. It's the story that Dabo just told earlier.
Yeah.
I can't tell this guy.
By the way, I love when Dabo said, we don't do anything different, and then he proceeded to say everything they did different.
Exactly, of course. But
that's fine. I mean, that's what they do.
he couldn't go get a guy until he lost the guy, and he didn't know he was going to lose the guy until he lost the guy. It is a helpless feeling for guys who like to be in control.
It's also the counter. The counter is screwing with a lot of things. Like there are too many chances for players to leave, and then quote unquote screw the team they were at.
Yeah,
and it happens all the time. And you have to figure out. I think you need to get some player reps from different conferences, from all the conferences, and say, what do you guys want best? What window do you want best? Do you want it after spring, so you know you've gone through spring practice and you realize, okay, now I have to leave because it's not going to work here for me, or do you want it in December? Mm-hmm. And I think a majority of them are going to say they want it in December. But there are some guys who will go through spring and all of a sudden a job they thought they had, not happening.
Oh.
It's not happening, and they need to go play somewhere. They want to go play somewhere. And frankly, sometimes they go play somewhere and they play well. So it's not like, there are instances where there are guys that leave in the spring and play well at other places. Mm-hmm. It's not just scrubs going from team to team.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's make this the 10-10 take real quick on the Clemson subject.
Now, Joe C's 10-10 take. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmaster since '68.
Sonny's Barbecue all over the First Coast. You can enjoy some delicious barbecue. Make sure you check it out if you're out and about when it comes to lunch, dinner, tailgating plans, whatever it might be. Now, the talk right here in this hallway is that Clemson could be back. We're going to find out. I do think that Dabo likes built-in pressure when it comes to what the expectations are of his team. He doesn't like to be a guy that's going to sneak into the conversation. He likes the fact that Clemson's out in front, that it became the Clemson Invitational. Mm-hmm. They are talking about Clemson again. We will find out whether they're right or wrong. It was a one-bid league when we got to the college football playoff expansion. We'll find out whether it's a two-bid league, this go around, and if it's Clemson and whomever else, Miami maybe. But that's the 10-10 take. Clemson is back on a lot of people's national championship chatter radar.
The bully. You got to look at it. You're talking about a Clemson team that's. Dabo said it, won 8 out of the last 10 ACC conference championships.
Oh, they dominated.
And then last year, all the talk was everybody else but Clemson. They were kind of in the corridors, forgotten about. And then all of a sudden last year, they was in a position where they could win it again, and they did. So, I think Dabo can appreciate that last year because not a lot of attention was on Clemson. But I think this year, he's saying that, listen, we're back on the block.
Not only that, I think he likes being the lead horse, too.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He loves
you can tell. You can tell by the way he was talking. He likes being that lead horse.
He might like being the villain a little bit.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
And put a mark on him.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and instead of be the chaser, let me be the one you chase it.
Sometimes as a team, even my time at Miami, we wanted the bullseye on us because the coaching staff wanted to see how we were going to respond to it.
And you kept all those players focused.
We didn't mind being the bully.
Yeah. All right, we'll keep it going. Hopefully say hello to Fran Brown coming up here in just a second. He definitely did a terrific job up in Syracuse. We'll see if we can get him from the ACC meetings up in beautiful Amelia Island. It is a Mocama Beer Company Monday. You come up to the island, enjoy some Mocama, or pick some up and enjoy some delicious craft.
1010XL takes you behind the microphone.
Used to pull your punches.
A scene-stealing hack, thank you.
Raving egomaniac.
I don't think where I got that from.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser.
Where's my limo?
Mornings on 1010XL.
Hi, folks. It's Frank Frangie. Look, when it comes to glass needs around the home, there's one name I trust, Lee and Kate's Glass. Those beautiful custom glass shower enclosures, maybe a new mirror, a glass tabletop. They can even replace your foggy or cracked glass without having to replace the whole window. Lee and Kate's is local. They're family-owned. They've been a part of our community since 1926. Boy, they've taken care of me, including our brand-new offices at Walk-Off Charities. They did a great job. I promise they'll do the same for you. Visit LeeandKatesGlass.com.
When the unexpected happens, you shouldn't have to face it alone. I'm Chris Campione, and at Campione Law, we're here to fight for you. Whether it's an auto accident or a slip and fall, our Jacksonville team takes care of every detail, from investigating the incident to securing multi-million-dollar verdicts, so you can focus on getting better. And remember, you don't pay a dime unless we win your case. Our commitment is 24/7, bringing you the real support from real people who really care. Campione Law, your dedicated partners in justice. Visit CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
you've got a lot on your plate, the last thing you need is car trouble. At Maxie's Mechanics, we help you keep your cars, trucks, and SUVs running safely. Visit MaxieAutoRepair.com today for honest service, reliable repairs, and peace of mind for you and your family.
Get ready. Welcome to Rockville is gearing up to take over the Daytona International Speedway from May 15th to 18th with Green Day, Korn, Shinedown, and Linkin Park. Plus Bad Omens, Incubus, Good Charlotte, Rob Zombie, Alice in Chains, Pierce the Veil, Marilyn Manson, 3 Days Grace, Sublime, Hailstorm, I Prevail, Three Doors Down, Jimmy Eat World, Motionless in White, Bush, Chevelle, Mudvayne, and so many more. Welcome to Rockville. North America's largest rock festival is finally here. May 15th to the 18th in Daytona Beach. 5 stages, 4 days, and over 150 bands. Select passes on sale now at welcometorockville.com.
Hey, Hicken here. So much of what makes us a family takes place in our homes. That's where Zero Res comes in. I love Zero Res, and this month get Zero Resified from Jacksonville's #1 carpet and air duct cleaner with May Mayhem. A 3-room special starting at $149, plus the 4th room is free. You owe it to yourself and your family to breathe healthy, happy, and clean. Call Zero Res 28757 or go online at ZeroResJacksonville.com and say you want the Hicken special. Zero Res, spell it forwards or backwards. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res.
Like to learn how to fly an airplane? Well, you're not alone. High Flying Jacko here, inviting you to listen Sunday morning. We'll start your aviation career with a 60-minute ride on the airwaves of 1010XL. The High Flying Show, Sunday at 9 on 1010XL.
With the first pick in the 2025 draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Duck Duck Rooter, the #1 plumbing, septic, and air conditioning contractor in Florida.
Congratulations, Duck Duck Rooter. So tell us, how does it feel to be picked #1?
Duck Duck Rooter is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When you need help with any plumbing, septic, or AC issue, just give us a call and relax. We'll send one of our first-round draft picks to tackle your problems today. DuckDuckRooter.com. That's DuckDuckRooter.com.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville, and Triumph has branched off from on-road to off-road. Give us the latest on what they've got.
They've got the 250 and the 450. Rick Carmichael designed these bikes himself, and they are bad to the bone.
So you're talking about a really cool effect from a bike off-road that Triumph had on-road forever.
It is, and it's out there winning races, and it is fun to ride.
Check it out, Cycles of Jacksonville, their showroom on Atlantic near Regency, or online on their Facebook page.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. With the weather starting to turn for the better, look ahead. Get that backyard ready for spring with a new screened-in enclosure. Maximize the space you have and make it great with Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. They truly are best in the business. If you have the space and the idea, give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway. Tell them Prosser sent you, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about not being afraid of the crosses of life. Life can be difficult. Maybe today you're carrying a cross of worry or stress. Let me encourage you to remember that when Christ got on the big cross at Golgotha, he destroyed all the little crosses that we face in our life. He set us free from fear, worry, and anxiety. Our job is not to be carried by the cross, but to be carried by our faith.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
Interested in a unique date night? Gibby here. I took my wife Nikki to Wick a Candle Bar. She made her own custom candle right there in the store. Shop local at Wick a Candle Bar. Locations in San Marco and Jacks Beach.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. Local sports update brought to you by the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. Manager Kevin O'Sullivan has his Gators playing like the hottest team in all of college baseball after winning their series this weekend against the top-ranked Texas Longhorns, thanks to an 8-2 victory Friday and a 4-1 tie-breaking series win on Sunday. The Gators have now won their 5th SEC series in a row, and after starting 1-11 in conference games, they've gone 12-3 in their last 15, sending a message to the rest of the SEC as they approach the conference tournament. With this weekend's performance, the Gators have crept back into the top 25 as the 23rd ranked team in the country. With a series win over number 18 Alabama this weekend, they can play as a host team in the SEC tournament, something that seemed impossible just 1 month ago. It's 80 degrees at 2:58. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Mondays on XL Primetime, brought to you by Mokama. Check out their great craft in the tap room in Fernandina Beach.
You got that delicious Mokama beer waiting for you Tuesday through Sunday. They serve delicious craft coffee every single day in the tap room right there on South 8th Street. We're not that far from historic Fernandina Beach. We're up here at the Ritz-Carlton, and we have got the ACC Spring Meetings going on. Joe C., Matty Hayes, Hurricane Hall of Famer Leon Searcy, and we get to say hello to Fran Brown, the coach of the Qs. And I'll just tell you this, Coach. First off, welcome in. We got a lot of Qs fans, alumni, and so on that have made the First Coast their home. Welcome in. How you doing?
I'm blessed, man. How about yourself?
We're doing great. I really think the Qs fans felt a little blessed last year with the job that you did. Give us an idea of your sense of satisfaction or where you felt like you came in year one, because you did some good things.
Well, we were trying to win a national championship. We didn't do that. We wanted to win a conference. We didn't do that. So, I mean, we just was an average football team in all reality when you look at it for what it's worth. I think that when people start to be excited about coming in 4th and 5th place, that you're messing up competition. You know, people don't compete to be in 4th and 5th. So we just got to keep working so we could become a better, more detailed, like darts, our core values. So we got to become a more dart team so we can finish out what our team goals were and be able to accomplish those for the seniors this year.
I hear a lot of Kirby Smart right there.
Yeah, no question.
A lot of, hey, we didn't do anything. Yeah. We didn't do anything. Let me ask you this, Frank. When you got there, what's the process of flipping that thing, of getting guys to buy in and to believe?
Going with your core values, believing in them, and not flipping, not switching. Because there's going to be ups and downs, right, in anything you do in life. And the tough times, I just always fall back on my faith, but I honestly fall back on the core values and stick to it, right? Sometimes there might be a player that you may think, he's really good. We got to – nothing's bigger than Syracuse. It was Syracuse football before I got there to be there afterwards. So when you're able to keep the S first, so you played at Miami, when you're able to keep the U first and foremost, like nothing could be bigger than that. And once people start trying to look at that other ways and you forget about what humble confidence is, humble enough to understand and know that this comes from the man above, but why am I confident? Because I put that work in. Right, and I'm working daily. I'm working. But that don't mean someone else isn't doing that same thing, right? So for me, it's just it's compete. Like as soon as you gotta want to compete. The coaches that come with you gotta want to compete, and there's no excuses. I think there's so many excuses being made for the guys. They got so many distractions because of NIL. Because I don't care about none of that. When it's time to go, you better be ready to go. I could care less about any of that. When it's time to practice, practice. If your butt need to be in the class, be in that damn class, right? And when you start to let those little things slide, they all play. Because how you do anything is how you do everything, right? And you just got to be able to stick to it and be true to it. Because the players know when you fake.
Right.
See, a lot of times you'll have so many of these 5-star guys and all these dudes and all that, and then why that team not good? Because they coach fake. Right, and the coach not real, and they know that. You could do whatever you want when the alums come back, when the board of trustees are around, and when all that. But when them players know who you are, you ain't gonna get them to fight in the fourth quarter, cause you soft.
Yeah, I say
And
that all
they
the
know
time.
that,
they know
right?
the difference between fake and genuine.
They
players,
know it,
right?
but they with you every day, and they are. So a lot of them are upset because they just got to go through it. And it's like, can I find a better opportunity? Can I get something else? So you got a bunch of disgruntled people in the organization. When the organization's just disgruntled, you got to be able to get rid of it. You got to go look in the mirror because most of the time it's whoever the leader is.
Right.
How do I fix this? How do I get this right? Right. How do I take care of this and do it the right way? I mean, that's for me, man. It's just compete. Competition, right? That's how it's been. How did I make it from the city that I was born and raised in Camden to be where I'm at right now? Because I had to compete my butt off. And it don't come, you got to always remember that. It comes back to my faith and competing. That's all this is about, being able to compete.
Yeah, Coach, you cut me to the white meat last season. I ain't going to even lie. The way Syracuse beat us in the last game of the season. But now that some of these words, these sentiments that you're putting forth, I understand why that team plays so hard. Because competition is everything.
Yes.
When you become comfortable in life in general and in sports, nothing great is ever accomplished in those feats. So, I mean, I was saying that as far as Syracuse and all the parity in the ACC with that type of mentality, saying we haven't done nothing yet. We won a few games, but the ultimate goal is winning the conference and playing for a championship. I mean, that's how you move a team forward when the head coach says those kind of things that you just said just now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, last year they used to ask me, what would be a good thing, y'all? 8-4, what you feel? And I would stop talking to that person. So you want me to pick 4 people that's going to beat us. Then who am I? Right? And no one practices to lose, right? Or don't compete to do that. So, like, I'm going to just give everything I got every single day. And I make sure the players do it. You know how they say, as long as you give everything you got, it don't matter. Whatever comes out, comes out. Now, that shit still hurt. Excuse my language. But it still hurt, right? Like, don't nobody want to lose, right? So that's just a piece of it where I'm at, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about a guy that's now a Jaguar, LaQuint Allen. Real quick, comment on him.
LaQuint was the toughest football player on our team. I wish I had 20 of him because we would have won the national championship. The fact that he's in Jacksonville and what they trying to flip and trying to do, there'll be nobody there tougher than him. That kid is tough, he's competitive, and he loves to compete.
1,000-yard rushing, 500 receiving. That means he can do a lot out of the backfield.
He'd play safety if you want him to. He's a competitive dude.
So
I love to compete.
You're saying 7th rounder, he makes that roster?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah,
I love it.
Not even a question.
Yeah, he's on the team.
I love it.
Yeah.
I know you got to go, Coach. Thank you very much.
Make sure Salvador Pizzas take care of me when I get down there, too.
We will. You say it, we will make it happen.
Y'all be
Thank
safe.
you very much.
All right.
That's awesome. We appreciate it. Fran Brown and LaQuint Allen is a guy, he said it, and he's like, he had to run to that meeting. But let
me tell you something. Imagine being the Syracuse president and that guy interviews with you, man. Right? Oh, that dude interviews you, and you're the Syracuse president. Immediately you go, all right, I'm hiring this guy.
But and it's Kirby. But Leon, you were leaning in because that's Jimmy.
That's Jimmy all day. I was getting chills. I wasn't even lying. But I'm really for real when he was saying the kind of stuff that he was saying about we ain't done nothing yet, and we ain't done nothing yet, and that. I was literally getting chills because I saw myself as a freshman and sophomore in the meeting room with Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah.
Right.
Saying, freshman orientation, welcome to University of Miami. If you're not here to win championships, take your ass home. That was the sentiment at University of Miami my freshman year. And those same sentiments he's saying here, hey, listen, we're not here to lose games. We're here to win championships.
You know what I love? I love that he said he'll be the toughest guy on that team.
Yeah.
He'll be the toughest. If he's the toughest guy on that team, Joe, he's making that team. I don't care what it is. I don't care where they have him playing. I don't care what they have him doing. If he's the toughest guy on that team, he will make the team. Because that's what they're lacking. They're lacking tough dudes that when, adversity hits, they're going to absolutely fight you.
And the other thing is, and Leon, just jump in on it because that's the DNA you're looking for.
Yeah, the toughest dude's got to be the coach because when it gets rough, he's got to be in the forefront, and he's got to be a leader of men, and that's what he exemplifies when he speaks. It seems like that when he talks to a kid, he tells them the real. He doesn't tell them some fairy tale, some fake stuff to make them feel happy. If they're good, he'll tell them. If they're not, he'll tell them. And that's what I always appreciated about Jimmy. Jimmy would not cut no corners. He would tell the people that weren't getting it done, they weren't getting it done, and the people that were getting it done, he would exonerate them. I mean, well, not exonerate them, but he would let them know.
Yeah.
So that's why I can always appreciate, the realness of that coach.
It's funny because I said how hyped Q's fans were. And trust me, they were. But he's like, I don't care about that. I'm not here to give you above average, or I'm not here to give you just a little bit more than what you experienced before, which, by the way, that's a little bit of a Duval thing that this team and fan base has gone through, because they just want something better than what it was. But Fran, as you said earlier, Matt, that's cut from the Kirby claw.
I'm telling you right now, Fran Brown will be a coach in the SEC in a year or two. There's no doubt about that. That dude will interview with some SEC president and will get hired like that immediately.
And I think he tried to look at the best jumping off point to leave the Kirby staff, kind of like Dan Lanning. But Dan Lanning went to an ideal situation.
Well, Fran had never been a coordinator.
Yeah.
At least Dan was a coordinator for 3 or 4 years. His defenses were the best in the nation. You saw what he could do as far as coordinating a group of players.
Right.
Fran was running backs coach. But clearly he knew what the hell he was talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Clearly he knew how to organize people. Clearly he knew how to build a team. He showed it in 1 year. So, yeah, I just think, the sky is the limit for him, man. He is a guy that I think all you got to do is listen to that interview. All you got to do is listen to him, the way he explains how he builds a team, the way he explains how he doesn't care about anything. This is the same guy who told his star receiver who was jumping in the portal, you're not worth $2 million. Told him you're not worth $2 million. Go. Leave. Go to another team.
Yeah. And look, if
I'll find a way to win without you.
He ran out of time, but I did want to ask the very basic question that every head coach needs to be asked right now is, what do you do? What do you do when you have a guy that basically holds your team hostage, which is what Nico Iamaleava did when he decided that he was going to basically force the hand of Tennessee? Now, he's not going to address that because that's a hypothetical, which he doesn't want to answer. But at the same time, I'm dying to know what other coaches are thinking about that.
Yeah, I think I'll give you a perfect example. Here's a perfect example. 3 years ago, Lincoln Riley would have jumped at Nico Iamaleava. Would have jumped at him, signed him immediately.
Right.
But he didn't need to this time, because not only did he have Jaden Miava, his quarterback, he also was in a situation now where he's put together back-to-back 2 really good recruiting classes. He's not going to jeopardize that by bringing in someone like that.
Right.
And at some point, that's also the game that coaches will play is, am I jeopardizing the chemistry that I'm building here, the organic chemistry I'm building here, by bringing in a mercenary? And again, Leon and I were joking about it, but that's what these guys are. These one-shot guys are mercenary guys. If you get a guy from the portal that has 2 or 3 years remaining on his of eligibility, that's different.
Right.
But if you've got a guy that's got 1 year left and he's going to the NFL, there's no doubt about it, that's a mercenary. And that you have to seriously look at and say, am I going to ruin the chemistry that I've built here?
Yeah. And the essence of everything that we're trying to figure out is that I guess it will even itself out whenever we get this house settlement, whenever we get the actual pay that's coming for the players. And then we get the parameters, Leon, that says you got to do X, you got to stay committed. The only way you're going to earn those extra dollars is to stay here and not hold us hostage, which basically is what it is. You're not going to have free agency every single year. You might have it every other year, but you're not going to have it every year.
Yeah, you want to. I mean, when they do eventually have pay for play, I mean, you essentially want to lock these kids in for at least 2 years, because like me and Matt has always said, it's never about the money; it's about the roster.
It's movement, man.
It's movement. It's constant movement. You're talking about movement in December. You're talking about movement after spring ball. I mean, that's just crazy. I mean, coaching staffs,
if you're a graduate, you can move anytime.
Exactly.
You can move in August if you wanted to.
Exactly. So those are I just think there needs to be parameters for player movement when it comes to paying them. Get these kids locked in for at least 2 years, so at least you can have some sustainable roster.
Yeah, and really, you're trying to figure out how everyone is going to feel like they have a little more control, because forever, players didn't have any control. So now they do. But coaches are losing control now that the players have gotten some.
Yep.
Well, like you as a player, you're like, I don't care. Now they can kind of get a feel for what it's like. But at the same time, we need to have blended success. Players get theirs. They can be happy, but there's still some sanctions, restrictions, or whatever, guardrails, guidelines. And then the coach has got to say, hey, all right, I got to figure out how to deal with this, but at least I know what I'm dealing with.
Yeah, I agree. Totally.
I think that's the biggest challenge.
It's also is it comes down to, okay, is there danger in adding this guy? Is there danger in adding this guy? Because that's what all these guys are dealing with right now, because there clearly is a bonus to adding someone like that, especially if you're UCLA. And even, frankly, if you're USC. My guess would be that Nico Iamaleava would be as good or better than Jaden Miava, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But if you're Lincoln Riley, why do you want to mess with that headache?
Right.
And the constant circus that comes with him, the media circus. There's, from day one at UCLA, that's all anyone's going to talk about with him, with Nico, is why did you leave Tennessee? Why did you come to UCLA? You become the poster boy of what's wrong with college football right now. That circus will come with him. So you also got to understand that as well. It's a difficult lift for these coaches right now to get into the portal for those one-year mercenary guys.
Yeah, it's a good point. It really is. All right, we'll keep it going. ACC Spring Meetings, Amelia Island. We're having a good time up here. Thanks to the coaches who have joined us. We got Mario Cristobal of Miami coming up tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're going to get the time arranged. Big Sirs, you don't have to bring him empanadas like you brought us, because I think he found some killer empanadas on the island. Was it a couple years ago, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he went and looked for one, pulled off to the side of the road.
Yeah.
Got him something good. So we'll see if he's got that lined up this go around. But anyway, we'll keep it going. We need to get to a couple of other things. Weekend Rewind coming. It is XL Primetime on a Mokama Beer Company Monday.
At the end of the day, matriculate your way home with the Frangie Show.
What does that mean?
It means buckle your seatbelt, Dorothy.
This isn't Kansas.
The great Oz has spoken.
Afternoons on 1010XL.
Joint replacement surgery is always a tough decision, but relief from chronic pain may be just around the corner. Dr. George Barry here, and there's a lot to consider to make sure you get the proper diagnosis and best path back to the range of motion and mobility you had. Age, lifestyle, and overall health all play a part. Let the team at Barry Orthopedics give you a full analysis to help you make the best decision. Log on to BarryOrthopedics.com or call the office to make an appointment. With offices across Jacksonville and ready to help you feel good again, we'll get you back on the road to recovery at Barry Orthopedics.
Hi, I'm Karen, owner of Clay Solar Installation Partners, your local women-owned solar company. At Clay Solar, we're more than just panels and power. We're about people. We make the switch to clean energy simple, stress-free, and built to last. If you've had a bad experience with solar in the past, we can help. We specialize in dependable solutions and top-notch customer service, so you can finally enjoy the savings and sustainability you deserve. Schedule your free consultation at claysolar.com.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
When it comes to your utility bill, JEA wants to help you use less so you can save more. We offer a variety of free programs, like efficiency and irrigation assessments that'll teach you ways to conserve energy and water around your home. Our alerts will let you know when your utility usage has reached a set amount, and our rebates can help you save when upgrading to more efficient appliances and equipment. Find even more ways to save at JEA.com.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Hacker here, taking you back exactly 1 year this week. I was only 9 weeks into Awaken 180 and had already dropped 54 pounds. Seriously, that's like shedding a first grader in just over 2 months. That's wild, right? Fast forward to today, 2 months into my maintenance, and I'm still down over 115 pounds. Not a pound put back on. It's like Awaken 180 gave my weight a permanent eviction notice. Now listen up. We all want to have goals, but sometimes they seem to be far-fetched. This one won't be. Dropping 40 pounds by the 4th with Awaken 180. It's doable when you have a proven program with an excellent coach by your side. Weekly weight loss, enjoying the ride, and reaching your goal. We all did it. No reason you can't. Set your goal, make the call, and reach 40 by the 4th with the solution for weight loss. Online at awaken180weightloss.com or call 844-346 1800.
If fishing is in your DNA, hop in the boat with Captain Kevin. It's the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show. Brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss and Royal Pest Services.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
Jacksonville, you know a good defense wins games, and a good fence protects your home. Frank Frangie here. Coil Fencing has been around the block since 1927. Literally, they probably fenced it too. From tough chain length to sleek aluminum fences your HOA will love, Coil is the name to trust. Nearly a century strong and still standing tall. Call Coil today. You can trust them. Call 904-356-4821 or visit coiljacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com.
Cool Cats Heating and Cooling, the coolest cats in town, setting the standard in our hometown. Quality service, the best around. Coolidge is the cat that cares about your heating and about your air. Cool Cats Heating and Cooling, the coolest cats in town.
Poker players, get ready for the action. The $200 No Limit Hold'em Stars and Stripes Poker Tournament happens at Best Bet Orange Park on May 26th. With 6 starting flights and a guaranteed prize pool of $50,000, it's your chance to claim victory and win big. And there's more. Don't miss $42,000 in high hands every 30 minutes from 10 a.m. to midnight at all 3 locations. For more details on how to join the action, visit bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Are you struggling with hair loss? At IHRS, we understand because we've been there too. We're dedicated to finding the best solution tailored just for you.
My hair looks great. It was thinning, and IHRS restored my hair.
It's now fuller, it's thicker, voluminous. It's made me feel great.
With the latest technology and FDA-approved laser therapy, PRP, and non-surgical hair addition, we offer guaranteed solutions for men and women. With over 35 years of experience, IHRS found a hair restoration for us, and we can find one for you.
For me.
For me.
And me too.
Visit hairforme.com or call 904-777-IHRS. Get a free microscopic analysis and get to the root of your problem. This $395 analysis is yours for free. Call 904-777-4477 now.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. The Weekend Rewind. Brought to you by Cycles of Jacksonville, the big boy toy store for big boy toys.
What happened this weekend?
Mark Jones is insufferable.
He rejects the screen, steps through, got it! SGA on the JOB.
Straka strikes in Philly.
Sepp Straka wins the signature event, the Truist Championship.
Gator baseball is hot.
Bouncing ball to third. Lawson steps on the bag, and this game is over. The Florida Gators come to Austin for the first time in program history and take 2 of 3 from the #1 team in the country.
Ohtani is a freak.
The 1-2 coming from Thompson. And Ohtani torches one, tosses the bat, and watches it fly. Shohei Ohtani breaks the tie with a 3-run bomb because, of course,
the Cavs are a fraud.
Neesmith gets a clean look off, and he hits it away net. The Indiana Pacers put up an 80 spot.
I'll tell you what, that was the Weekend Rewind with plenty to look back on. But that Indiana Pacer thumping of the top-seeded Cleveland Cavaliers, whoa. That would definitely opened up a lot of eyes, as you can imagine, around the association. I know you guys were watching it. That was the Weekend Rewind. Thanks to Cycles of Jacksonville. If you had a lousy weekend, you want to have a fun one, make sure you check out what they've got on-road, off-road, and on the water. Just check out their Facebook page, Cycles of Jacksonville, or on Atlantic near Regency. What about that thumping?
Let me ask you a quick question.
Yeah.
Before we get any further with the NBA. Mm-hmm. Looking back to the NBA real quick. After that fantastic Fran Brown interview, how long ago do you think that was?
How long?
Yeah, how long? Like when he left, how long ago was since he left? 10 minutes?
10, yeah.
Okay, he was running to get to that meeting because he was late, right?
Oh, yeah.
They'd already started it.
Yeah.
Belly just walked in now.
Are you kidding?
Just walked in.
Well, who walked in before him? Was the fifth runner-up right there with him?
Suitcase in tow.
Really?
Yes.
But was the runner runner-up?
No. The runner-up was not with. No.
Do you have on pilot?
That doesn't mean the runner-up is not somewhere in the building.
We should have probably done a VAT for
Pilot
that.
blue.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
She is not in the building, folks. She is not.
I don't know that. I don't know that.
Thank you, though, JJ. And Crondo, thanks you as well. Thank you very much. Because honestly,
the statement is not in that room, so I don't know about the building.
Well,
okay?
because I'll admit this. All right, I'm just going to admit it right now. I might have been a bit of a stalker around the lobby area, the front of the Ritz-Carlton, just looking to see when Belly might roll up here and who he was accompanied by, because he accompanied her at the pageant. The Maine, Miss Maine.
And her dad.
Yeah, Miss Maine. And she finished one spot lower than she did a year ago. But
runner-up to the runner-up.
Yeah, runner-up to
which is sort of like the assistant to the assistant general manager.
Traveling secretary. It really doesn't get you a whole heck of a lot. But Belly was there. Okay, and so when I saw that, I'm like, wonder if he'll make it up here to beautiful Amelia Island.
Listen, there's no way she's not here. I mean, as plush as this hotel is by the water, come on.
Exactly. Enjoying that Florida weather, of course.
Exactly.
Yeah. With the spa life.
Come on now.
That does make a lot of sense. You guys are like savvy when it comes to some of this intel.
She's got the suite with a balcony for sure.
We all know women, Joe.
Yeah. It's the truth. It's the truth.
Weak legs,
it's just like, you know what? I can't make that junket that you have in.
Although she might be a little upset after
running through that junket, running through the Appalachian Mountains, but I think I can make it to Amelia Island.
She may not be here though. She might be a little upset from being named the assistant to the regional manager.
Yeah, well, it's true. It's true. And it's interesting though that she had competed in that before and then went back to compete again. And I think maybe she might have felt like she was going to win that puppy. I have no idea, but she did have one of those strong statements that, hey, we need less of it. Okay, paraphrase.
I think we can all agree on that.
This is going to end so badly, man. It's just going to end so badly.
I don't know how it's
hard to turn away from it, man, seriously.
But let's just go back real quick to the Dabo question, because I asked, is there a learning curve that the GOAT is going to have to go through? And he's not going to. Dabo didn't answer the question directly, of course.
But he kind of did, yeah.
Yeah, but he said, if I go up to the NFL, there's going to be a lot that I got to learn. He's basically saying if he comes back here to a place he's never coached before, there's going to be a little bit of a learning curve, even though he didn't say yes to it. But I guarantee you, there's coaches circles, Leon, do you agree, that are talking about, hey, how are we going to handle Bill? Are we going to make sure he gets the proper introduction in this league?
I mean, he's got the credentials, absolutely. I mean, he's the GOAT. He's the greatest head coach in NFL history. I mean, what Dabo said it right. I mean, with all his greatness, going to college, there's going to be, you have to learn. You're going to have to learn to deal with kids and recruiting and parent visits and all that. NFL, you ain't got to deal with none of that stuff. It's about the bottom line business. Can you get it done? College is the same way, but he's going to deal with, he's going to be dealing with younger attributes, younger kids, families, and all that. So it's going to be very interesting how he deals with it. Because Bill has always been a bottom line guy, and he may not be prepared to pucker up a little bit to these kids. I mean, he's going to have to. These kids, with the NIL and these kids right now, you got to pucker up every now and then.
Let me tell you something. He puckered up to Gio Lopez because he needed a quarterback, and Gio was in the portal.
There you go.
In the spring portal, he's a really good player from South Alabama. And I bet they paid him a sweet contract to come play for them because they basically didn't have a quarterback. They had Max Johnson, they had Ryan Brown, they had a freshman. They didn't have a quarterback, and now he at least has a quarterback.
It's so funny. I saw Manny Diaz, and by the way, he was getting a major workout in. He had been on a run, was going back into the gym to lift. Okay,
nice.
That's what it appeared to me.
What happens when you win 9 games, man?
Yeah, he was sweating through his shirt when he came through there. Anyway, I said, congratulations, coach. Good season, this and that, and the quarterback too, and because he's the one that lassoed that $8 million. $8 2-year.
Four per, yeah.
2-year, $8 million deal for the Tulane quarterback, Mensah. And so we're going to find out whether or not Mandy's going to be able to keep it going. But the stakes are high when Duke is paying that amount of money. Honestly,
they paid
Yes.
pretty for Malik Murphy last year.
Yeah,
paid him about 2.5.
Whew. Yeah, that's more than I would have expected. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And you're now looking at a different landscape. You're looking at millions of dollars are having to be corralled to basically take care of the NIL responsibilities outside the university. And they come in and they basically put together these deals.
Right.
And then inside you have another $20 million that's going to have to be put together when it comes to basically securing all the finances
And then,
for the pay for play part of
and
it.
we haven't even talked about NIL.
No.
Private NIL. Private NIL is.
But I still mean
anybody can make any amount of money they want with private NIL.
Okay, what do you mean? Because
I'm telling you, like the NIL the schools are giving, the $20 to $23 million salary pool annually is separate from private NIL.
Okay, but I always like to say it's booster driven or university driven. Okay, so we have a current NIL.
Well, the booster's kind of fund the university too,
Well,
so it's
okay, but no, you understand what I'm saying.
Yes,
though.
I do.
University's got to come up with the actual money.
Yes,
and checks have to be written by the university.
Correct.
And then there's an an NIL collective that boosters contribute to. Of course,
Yes.
boosters are being pulled from both
every way
sides.
possible, right?
Okay, but listen to this, and this is if I have it here. Oh gosh, I don't have it right now. But that $40 million number that was thrown out for the Texas Longhorns coming up next year.
Yeah, it's about $3 million shy of what Ohio State spent last year.
So is that 20 inside and 20 outside, or all 40 on the outside?
Was that all in coaches and everything, or just players?
I think it was a player amount.
Well, if it's players, that's twice what Ohio State spent.
Yes. I need to pull it up. I'll make sure that I get it coming up here in just a second. But it blew my mind, and I'm like, no.
Well, that's going to be most teams are spending about, because it's not just football. You got to pay other players too.
Yeah.
So most teams are spending about $13.5 million on football. So if Texas is at $40 million, Joe, that means there's 27 million NIL private dollars out there for Texas. Okay, that's kind of the thing that I think everybody has to understand is this thing is not just about the pay for play. It's about all the money that's still out there for private NIL. That's how Gio Lopez got paid in North Carolina. That's why when he left South Alabama and he was looking for a place to go, he was literally saying, all right, these 4 teams need a quarterback. Who wants to pay me the most? And that's the situation you're going to be in. You're also going to be in a situation where there will be guys who are at schools, in December and have played there for 2 years and have done great things out of school. And then all of a sudden, in the spring, and they got 1 year left, and I'm going to go get a payday. That will happen. It happened with Nico. It didn't work out for him. He got paid less, but there will be guys who will get paid like that.
Yeah. I don't know that it's ever going to stop because there's so many deep-pocketed people that have the thirst to feel like they're responsible for getting a winner. Nothing like a dude with deep pockets knowing that he can go into his country club and he can say, I bought him. Yeah. You see that championship team Saturday? Yeah, that's because
bragging rights.
Yes, more than ever.
More than ever. Yeah, absolutely.
Whereas before they couldn't say, "Hey, I bought him the caddy. I made sure that he had this, that, and so on. He's got a house that I usually rent out, but I'm giving it to him." He couldn't say it then. Now he can.
He can.
It's crazy. Yeah. It really is. All right, we'll keep it rolling. 4 o'clock hour, you got the Francis Show coming up. We got a little bit more from the ACC Spring Meetings. We'll be here today and tomorrow, hopefully with a couple more coaches coming on, including Mario Cristobal of Miami.
Choose your social channel. Twitter at 1010XL. Facebook at 1010XL. Instagram at 1010XL. TikTok at 1010XL. YouTube at 1010XL. 1010XL is there.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Jason, I don't see how a new air conditioner is going to work out for me.
Well, you like air conditioning, right?
Oh, yeah, totally. But A new air conditioner could be expensive.
Well, not if you...
I mean, to save up the money, I probably have to give up my extra hot skim latte every morning. Now I fall asleep during a staff meeting, get volunteered for the summer picnic committee, and end up sitting in the dunk tank all afternoon getting water up my nose.
Okay, look at it this way. Put on these sunglasses. Whoa. Bueller Air and Plumbing puts in a new AC. We hook you up with affordable financing, and you stay cool and comfortable for just $149 a month. Cool?
Cool. I see it now.
Life can be hard on your budget. If you suffer through the heat because of a broken AC you could totally afford to replace, you could visit.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
This is Mike Lynch, PGA Golf Professional. Take it from me. If you're dealing with an orthopedic issue, talk to the doctors at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where you're treated like a pro.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where athletes are treated like pros. Thanks to all of you who have allowed us to be part of your recovery. Call us at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists if you ever have a need.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Are you thinking about a pool for your home? Blue Haven Pools is Jacksonville's largest pool builder. They've built pools for over 20,000 satisfied families since 2000. It's never been easier to design the perfect pool for your home, family, and budget. Call Blue Haven Pools today at 904-620-0090 to get a free in-home estimate for your in-ground pool, or visit bluehaven.com. Don't let another summer pass by without a pool. Join thousands of happy Jacksonville pool owners in a Blue Haven pool.
Enhance your home with Renewal by Anderson's superior craftsmanship and timeless design. Right now, buy 2 windows or patio doors and get the third at 60% off. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. This offer expires May 31st. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
2 classic albums, 1 night of hits. Styx presents The Grand Illusion. Kevin Cronin Band presents REO Speedwagon's High Infidelity. June 2nd, Daly's Place. Brotherhood of Rock Tour. Plus Don Felder, formerly of the Eagles. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. 2 classic albums in their entirety. Styx, The Grand Illusion, REO Speedwagon's High Infidelity. Don't miss the event of the summer.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On May 12, 2013, at the PGA Players Championship, legendary golfer Tiger Woods wins his 2nd Players Championship and 78th Tour title.
Hey, Hicken here. Tired of glasses or contacts? Discover customized vision solutions at Bowden Eye & Associates. Dr. Bowden's team offers cutting-edge options like Evo implantable Collamer lenses or refractive lens exchange and classic LASIK, designed to fit your life. Picture perfect vision for reading, driving, or just enjoying the day. It's easier than you think. Call now for your free screening. Bowden Eye & Associates, they're keeping the First Coast focused.
It's the perfect day. You're just driving along, listening to your favorite music, the windows down. There's a cool breeze. Life is good. But wait, hold on a second. You're not wearing a seatbelt? You'd better put that on before that... Uh-oh, too late. Cops everywhere are stepping up enforcement, so you'd better buckle up or you will get caught. Sorry to ruin your day. Click it or ticket.
Funded by the Florida Department of Transportation.
Frank Frangie here for Bono's Pit Barbecue. Bono's has been serving Jacksonville's best barbecue since 1949. Now, to thank all their loyal customers, Bono's is bringing back their Club 49 card. You can get a $500 gift card for only $350. That's a savings of $150. You can purchase your Club 49 card at any of the Bono's locations around town. And you'll want to get to Bono's soon to get the spring wing deal. You get 6 wings and a side for just $11.99. Head to Bono's, and remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to divorcemenonly.com. Divorcemenonly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Go to WM.com/Duval.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the Cool Down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
All right, my takeaway is that I know you guys, you SEC homers, tease the ACC for being lackluster, and they call it all crap conference.
All crap conference.
But you know what? I like the
now it's any coast conference. Any coast conference.
Listen, I like the brass. I like the brass of the ACC as far as parity goes. I mean, because there's no front runner as far as who's going to win the division. You got your Miamis, you got your Clemson, you got your Georgia Techs, you got your Pitt, you got your Syracuse, you got your SMUs. And I know you laugh about it, but I'm excited about the fact that it won't be no cakewalk. The competition is going to make them better, especially when it comes to the making it to the tournament. So, yeah, I mean, I still got Miami to win. But
I didn't hear you got your FSUs. I didn't hear that.
Well, yeah, they can only get better. I mean, 2-10. I mean, how much worse can you be?
Dabo thinks they're coming. You hear him? Oh, they're going to get better.
Yeah. I don't think Dabo I don't think he means it. But Dabo doesn't want it. Listen, nobody wants Florida State back. But, yeah, it'll be good for the conference if they do play better. I hope they do.
Yeah. I mean, my takeaway is you listen to Dabo, there's no doubt Trevor Lawrence is frustrated. There's no doubt about it. He was saying he's a winner. He's won everywhere. He's had some injuries. He's had 3 different coaches and 3 different coordinators. And how could a guy like that, who has had so much stability in his football career and so much of the known in his football career, all of a sudden he gets to the apex of playing football in this country, and it's just a mess from day one.
Mm-hmm.
So how could he not be frustrated? How could he not be off his game? I could see that. I absolutely could see that. And I know some of you on the text line are going to say, you're making more excuses for him. I get all that, okay? And he has to play better. There's not even a doubt about it. He has to play better. But that kid's been through a ton. I say kid. That dude has been through a ton of stuff since he left Clemson.
Yeah.
And he's, look, the good ones push through it. The good ones find a way to deal with it. He's got to find a way to deal with it.
Yeah, it's been a hot mess one way or another. So there's really every time you bring up a situation. Now, they had it going after the end of 22. They won a playoff game. They came from 27 down. But I'm saying
outlier.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it is the outlier right now. But I'm just simply saying he was part of their success.
Yes, absolutely.
And Doug was part of their success.
Yes.
And then we all know that Doug's coaching just seemed to go south. He didn't push as hard. They didn't necessarily look like they were as polished and intense a group as you want to see when they take the field on a Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock, right? They didn't look it.
No.
And so it unraveled. And so for one reason or another, there's just been a pile of bad, with him included, but a lot of it around him. And so if Dabo's saying what is real with Trevor, he needs to get ticked off and do something about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that Doug Peterson's unraveling is that he probably gave those guys in that locker room a little bit too much leverage.
Mm-hmm.
Too much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Too much
feelings.
Well, not only feelings, but he gave them I trust you to do what's right.
Yeah,
you're the professional.
Yeah,
built-in excuse.
Exactly. So Doug had issues with who was making the calls and all the other kind of stuff and whatever, but those players failed him as well. I think they failed him because I think he gave them a little bit more leverage than they probably deserved.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping with this coaching staff, this new regime, is that you keep the pressure on these players. Keep the pressure on them to perform at a very high level. Don't let up on them. even if they cringe, crumble, or fall.
You know how I feel about that, man.
Yeah.
Do it publicly. I know you guys don't like
Yeah.
that, but that's how I feel about it, man.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
Publicly
It does.
say X, Y, and Z need to play better.
Yeah, but Leon has said it doesn't do any good, and I at least got to believe from the player's point of view that you can get the riot act inside. You don't need it outside. Good coaches don't rip players all the time. They still get good results because they do it inside the building. Is that not true?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, inside the team meeting, in the film room, I mean, they get lectured, they get ripped, So to do it outside of that part right there, then.
But does that really bother them?
Does it what?
A player if they're getting ripped in a defensive line.
If you're singled out in the media, yeah, it may bother. TC never singled out players. He would say groupings failed us. So everybody knew.
But still, he would say it.
Knew
he would publicly say it, though,
He
right?
knew what groupings were.
Yes.
So we knew who the groupings were. Yeah, absolutely.
You can't have over 100 drops in the last 4 years. And your coach at some point not saying, we can't catch the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to name a player. We can't catch the ball.
Yeah, if you do it like that, and I do think even Doug did degrees of that when he said we can't get a first down right now. We can't stop anybody. He said a handful of those things, but at the same time, it goes back to what I believe, and I think Leon believes, is that he let the professionals have the opportunity to be professionals, and they didn't do it.
They failed them. Yeah, absolutely. And you, what's being allowed in practice is showing up on Sundays.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can't. I mean, Doug, when he said at his presser day, he couldn't understand the way they played so poorly because we had a good week of practice. I just don't believe it. I just don't.
Right, nor do I.
Yeah.
Because if you have a great week of practice, that's like osmosis to the game. Is
Absolutely.
It not? Yeah.
My takeaway is that Dabo might be back.
Yeah, I like it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Dabo has had, obviously, major success. He and Nick were trading titles at the top, playing for it all, consecutive seasons. Trevor winning a natty, all the stuff that they had going. They obviously lost it, as he talked about. But I do think he feels like he's got a little something this year. And the fact that SMU stepped up and got into the college football playoff and then was able to get to a point where actually, had a chance to make something happen and then wasn't able to do it in the end. But still, SMU coming into the ACC and making something happen, I'm sure had to ignite the Dabos of the world to say, hey, you know what? This is our conference. We need to retake control. And he has got some tigers on both sides.
Yeah, but that win was a chin check to SMU. Even though it was for a last-second field goal, we're still there. Listen, you come in our conference, you walk lightly.
You better believe that was a chin check. You better believe it was. That was everybody's saying you're going to beat us. Everybody's saying that we shouldn't be in this game, that we backdoored our way into it. Yeah, here's your backdoor. You better believe that was a chin check. Yeah, and not only that, I think that was also like an awakening a bit for that team because, like he even said, they hadn't been there in 3 years, and it started to get to where everybody on the roster had never been in the playoff. And no one knew what it was like. No one knew what the grind was like. No one knew what the reward was like. And, yeah, it changed. It changed dramatically. That's why everybody is so fired up about them this year. They've got a very experienced team. They've got a hot quarterback. Tom Allen is going to do great things for them as DC. He is just a unique cat that knows how to reach players. He will do really, really good things for them.
And Klubnik, I feel like I was a defender of his far too early and then really for far too long. But he started to play some good ball. And he is a big enough guy, 6'2", not huge, but he's got a decent arm, definitely can move. And so he's one of those guys that now knows, as we said before, spotlight back on.
Yeah.
And they're waiting to see if he can deliver. He can be the leader that's going to take them to where they want to go. And there's only so many other great quarterbacks in the conference, which as we get closer, we'll spend some more time on that. But last year, you were treated as a pretty damn good quarterback play.
Yeah, we're gonna find out about Clemson week 1, baby.
Right. LSU.
Week 1 at home against LSU, yeah.
Tiger on Tiger crime. Is that not in Baton Rouge?
No, that's in Death Valley.
Oh,
Clemson, South Carolina. Yeah.
Okay.
That could be 0-4 start in week 1 games for Brian Kelly.
Yeah, just
which will not be good.
Move the table so he don't bang on it.
Yeah. Well, I was looking at their schedule earlier, and obviously if you begin Tiger on Tiger crime and then you end in the Palmetto State versus Cocky, and we don't exactly know what South Carolina is going to have because they did ship off some decent talent to the NFL on that defensive front, but Lenore Sellers is coming back, and that's going to be a joy to watch. And so you may have two of the marquee signal callers from both sides of the Palmetto State when they play at the end of the year.
One of those two Clemson Natties, by the way, was in the state of Florida at Tampa. One of the two was.
Yeah. Well,
you never know.
Yeah, you
never know, man.
Well, that 99 play offense run by Deshaun against that Bama defense was as impressive a run as you've seen. They were dominant.
Yeah.
And they kicked out a lot of good guys. It was so funny when he said, I tried to compare this group to Christian Wilkins, Clelin Ferrell, and those guys. he said if Wilkins finds out that I'm doing some comp to that, because that was a front. They were legit.
Yeah, look, I really like Dabo. He has not been that gregarious.
It's
and that
true.
open in the last 3 or 4 years. He's been a different guy. He
feels something.
He feels like he's got a team this year. I'm telling you right now.
And it also still comes down to scheduling. I was trying to pull it up here, and I know when I was looking at it earlier, it was there definitely was some opportunity to get out to a quick start, but they've got it. Like, you want to talk about a mammoth game early? In a lot of ways, it would be a Dabo, not a Dabo referendum, really, because he's done enough. They're not going to second guess him after the first game. But what if Brian Kelly loses that game?
That will be a referendum.
That could be, because Kelly apparently, as I looked at the recruiting rankings heading into 26, LSU's way up there right now.
Yeah,
way up there.
Yeah,
and so if he can get it done, obviously he's got Garrett Nussmeier against Cade Klubnik. That's going to be pretty damn good quarterback matchup to start off the year.
Yeah, two Heisman hopefuls.
Yeah, and Nussmeier can sling it just as good as anybody out there now.
One defense is much better than the other defense.
Yeah, okay.
Clemson's defense is much better than LSU's defense.
It's all right. It's crazy to say. Brian Kelly goes out and he makes that hire on the defensive side of the ball to fix things. They really didn't fix anything.
Blake Baker.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't fix their personnel. I wouldn't blame that on Blake Baker. They just don't have. They made. Again, they're not landing the players they need to land in recruiting and organically developing, so they have to go to the portal and take the one-year mercenaries, and they're just not hitting on it.
Yeah, but to say that Clemson now has got a defense that's back, and then Brian Kelly still hasn't answered the bell on that defensive side.
But look at Clemson's defense. They all are guys they recruited and developed, all of them.
We'll find out. You want to talk about top-notch defensive players? This guy right here.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. CoolCatsJacks.com.
The coolest cats in town.
I think when he moved from the 9th grade to the 10th grade, they described him as a highly motivated individual. Any high school would covet his skill set. The Embedded and Shredded joins us now as you get ready to roll with the Franchise Show. Hayes, how are you, man?
I'm doing great. Yeah, anytime you can pick up that 5.2 40 time, you got to add it to your roster, and that's what I brought to the table.
Oh, you better believe it. You better believe it. You were slow but effective, as they say.
Yeah.
Sometimes that could be a good thing, Hayes. What did you take out of minicamp over the weekend?
It was just cool to see Travis Hunter running around. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot football-wise that we were going to get out of it, but still, it was good just to be out there and see the fans and obviously watch one of the greatest athletes in America run around, even if it wasn't a very intense setting. So, it was and it was good seeing the other guys in the draft class, Milam and Tootin and Ransaw, who I had a chance to talk to after. So we'll have that interview coming up on the Frangie Show. But yeah, I just thought, a good day. Everybody was in a good mood, and the intensity will start to ramp up a little bit, as the veterans get there. But really, we're still a couple of months away from the nitty gritty when the pads go on in training camp.
Beautiful, man. What is coming up today?
Yeah, we will certainly give our impressions of what we saw Saturday at the mini camp, and we'll talk a little bit. We'll start previewing the schedule release and things like that. Liam Cohen talked a little bit about wanting to set up joint practices, so that'll be interesting once we get the preseason slate, because obviously we know the opponents for the regular season, but the league will announce the preseason opponents, the next day or so after the schedule comes out, and that'll give us a good indication of who the Jaguars might be trying to do joint practices with. So, yeah, a lot of Jaguars today, and then obviously a lot of things over the weekend that we will touch on as well. Gators, Knowles, and certainly an interesting PGA Tour event as we head into the PGA Championship. So lots of great stuff coming up on the Frangie Show.
All right, Hayes, love it, man. We will be listening on our way back from Amelia Island.
Thank you, guys.
All right, man. All right, so he is ready to go with the Frangie Show coming up next. And we are out of here. But we'll have a couple coaches tomorrow. Mario being one of the headliners and Dabo the headliner today. And you'll be able to pick that up on the social channels. So we say thanks to those hosting us here, Mokama Beer Company, Monday, Tuesday through Sunday, delicious craft. Every single day they got great coffee. Just head on into the tap room or find them on the shelves. Some delicious Mokama at Total, ABC, or Publix. We are done. Big Search, the Hurricane Hall of Famer. Matty Hayes, check out his stuff at USA Today. Joe C., thanks for listening. JJ Ville, we send it back your way, man.